Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I know you all might have heard about the April 5th Million People March. This march is not for my people, and I have my reason for saying it because seeing you outside there may result to some certain things, right? And I am very sure that you all already made up your mind on the things you are supposed to do this year and what you are not supposed to do. And we all agree that it is vacation period for people that look like me too, whenever the spirit says it is time to come out. So I am urging my people and I am telling you that you are not part of that million march. Stay your butts at home. I mean, it's a perfect time for cookout. What do you think? What's your favorite show? What do you think? Get together with some. What do you think? I mean, there are so many things Black people can do on that day, right? So you are not part of that people that are supposed to be out there. And make sure you pass this message to your kids. Tell them to stay at home. I am saying this because you all already know how hard they've been working to enact martial law. And I do not also want to hear stories like, I mean, I've not seen my son for days after the protest, or this person was badly beaten just for coming out. So, see, you all already know how it works. And I do not need to further explain. Black people are staying back home. Let's get into this video.
92% of the Black community have decided to stand down and to let them do all the work. We have showed them the game plan. We have told them what to do. We tried to lead them to the glorious of fresh water, and they decided not to drink it. At this point, it is not our fault if you starve. It is not our fault if you are dehydrated. If you are thirsty, drink, because we showed you how to create a pond of water within your hands. Seeing the entire country quite literally and figuratively burn down to the ground, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me a little anxious. Because I am missing something. I am missing something incredibly important. You know what that is? I am missing a Black woman who can drink hot green tea with me. That's what I'm missing. For those who don't know, I am absolutely obsessed with green and jasmine tea. It's one of my favorite drinks. No sugar, no GMOs, no added supplements, just the nature and the leaves itself. What's interesting is this. Every now and then, I will get tagged into videos from other people of color, and they will ask me and other Black people, why don't you help us? Why won't you help us? Why are you abandoning us? It's the same answer of what I said 3 months ago after the presidential election. You betrayed us. We trusted you, and you stabbed us in the back. Here is a phrase that I continuously say to my friends because it is critically important. Trust and love is very important. However, trust is 10 times more valuable than love ever will be. I can still love you. I can still care about you. But I do not trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back. Trust is the complete opposite. I can despise you and you can be my enemy, but I am no fool. If I can trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back, then that trust will be placed. It's the same way with this. To the Latinos, to the Asians, to other people of color, I do care about them. I love y'all even. But I am no fool. I know I can't trust you because that election told me everything I needed to know. That election told me that a lot of you is not on the Black community side. Love itself, my love for you, is not enough for me to have faith in you. If your trust was unbound and you continuously shown to me and everyone else that you are worth to be trusted, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? But because you have shown time and time and time again that you cannot be trusted, why are you acting surprised when we take our trust back? People need to understand that Black people are not hateful. We care about you guys. We do love you guys, but we can't trust you for shit. So if the entire country has to burn down for you to realize that you have placed your trust into the wrong people, then so be it. That's all I gotta say on the matter. It is Onyx, and I'm gone.
So I want to talk about this supposed anti-Agent Orange march that's being organized and being held on April 5th. So white people, you all know that collectively Black folks are not going to be there. And I believe you finally have gotten that message. If not, you'll see. There may be a handful of us, but nope, we're not going to be cannon fodder for you all. But here's the thing. Many of you all are already saying in the comment sections of Black people's videos, well, it's time for us to get to work and we're going to be showing up on April 5th. Oh, it's going to take much more than that. What you're going to do on April 5th is nothing but performance. But in order for you all to undo the damage that has been done and that is being done to the country by the bozos running the federal government, oh, that's only the tip of the iceberg. And don't expect Black people to be impressed by you turning up for a march on April 5th. Well, Rob, what can we do? Oh, first of all, you're going to have to seriously challenge your own racism and bias. And then you're going to have to turn around and get very uncomfortable. And many of you all are not used to being uncomfortable. And you're going to have to challenge and confront the bias and the racism in your family, in your workspaces, in your places of worship, and in the friend circles that you all hang out in. And then you're going to have to back it up with your vote. And then you need to back it up with your dollars and support businesses and initiatives that are actively working to preserve democracy. That's what you are going to have to do. So don't expect pats on the back from Black people because you go and attend a march and because you wear a blue bracelet or whatever else performative you all come up with. You all have much deep work to do. So you better get started. So I want to talk.
There's going to be a march on April 5th, and this march is basically to protest everything that's currently going on in the world. To my Black people, I know you've probably heard a lot of other people say stay in the house, but especially on April 5th, stay your ass in the house. Yeah, absolutely stay in your house. Do not participate. Do not partake in any of these activities. Just stay your ass at home and chill and be okay. I feel like it's great that people are getting out into the streets and, marching for these things that are going on and, protesting. I think that that's amazing. But to anyone that looks like me, as soon as we get out there, it's going to go from a non-violent protest to a violent protest. And then they're going to begin using unnecessary force on people who look like me.
Spiritual family.
And then after that, they're going to try to enact martial law. Like, we all know this. We know that this is their little game plan. So no, just stay in the fucking house. Seriously. Do not participate. What we're going to do is stay home and boycott with our dollars. As of right now, do not go outside. Do not participate in April 5th marches. Seriously. Stay your ass in the house and have a regular day. Go about business as usual. Yeah.
April 5th, 2025 is to bait Americans and to martial law. You've been seeing these videos, but it's not about you if you have my skin tone. And I'm Latino, so technically this isn't like white. However, in comparison to Latinos who are on the much more darker skin spectrum and Black Americans, I have that privilege, right? That I can go to a protest. And in comparison to a Black American, unfortunately, my skin tone is preferred over theirs. In that reality, my skin tone is seen as much more safety than theirs. There automatically is a weapon. Theirs automatically says target practice. Mine on this side definitely can say that, right? But ultimately, those on the lighter skin tone are the ones who should be going to the protest in place of those who cannot because their skin color is a weapon to the authorities and to the government. Now, more particularly, U.S. citizens should be the ones showing up on April 5th, 2025 of lighter skin. Hopefully those who are lighter than me, right? I still go to protests, but hopefully those who are lighter. Over 250 million Americans in the United States identify in the categorization of white. So if we need 12, 11 million, then we could easily get it from this group. And why, you say, why are we throwing lighter skinned Americans under the bus? It's because of safety. It's because of safety because when an authority sees a blonde girl, blonde woman, white, and other blonde women around her, blonde men around them, their instinct isn't, oh, they're a danger. It is, I need to protect them. I need to mitigate and de-escalate the situation so I don't need to harm them. That's not the truth when it comes to people of color. That's not the truth when it comes to darker skinned people. It's automatically, they're not American. They are a danger and I need to use maximum violence on them. This is why they have to stay at home. If the police escalated violence against protesters of color, the international community won't think anything of it because they're going to paint it as these people were thugs, right? But if they did it against a white protesters, then obviously it would cause havoc around the world. It would cause havoc in the country. It would cause havoc in the government because the ultimate agenda is white supremacy. So if you are hurting white people, then you are violating the main role of this administration, which is what? Hurting the purest beneficiary of your agenda. So is this sacrificing white people? And I'm talking about white, lighter skin Latinos, lighter skin people of color too. Just white people, including this side of me. No, it's risk mitigation. It is solidarity. Because if I have that skin solidarity, then it is easier for me to not get harmed than someone who is on a darker skin than me. So it is standing up in solidarity for those who cannot show up. And it is mitigating risk because the greatest risk is to those who are on a darker scale of the skin color. A great example of risk mitigation and solidarity is this behavior that I have, which I believe is from the Mexican culture, where it's men, when you're walking on the streets with a woman, you have to walk on the side where the cars are coming from. So if I'm walking with you on the sidewalk, you're walking on my right and I'm walking on the left because it's closer to the street. When we are crossing the street, I turn and I go onto the side where the cars are at so that I'm on the side where the cars are coming from. That's a great example because while you can say, well, that is just a chivalrous way of gentleman way of like existing, right? But ultimately, when I think of the fact that the most vulnerable to being abducted are women and children, you kind of have a rethinking as to why is it that this is important. And it's no longer because, hey, because she's a woman, it's because she's more likely to get picked up from a white van if she's closer to the street. You know, kids, they're closer to getting picked up on the street if they're closer to the street. So it's about protecting, it's about defending, it's about caring for people who you know are vulnerable to being harmed. So you putting yourself in the middle of that. Even like when I was in college, when my female friends were done, drinking, they didn't want to drink anymore, but they still wanted to continue playing. House rules said that you couldn't play unless you were drinking. So I would volunteer in their plays because I know why frat boys want girls to keep drinking. So I'm like, no, she's not gonna keep drinking. She can play if she wants because I'm gonna drink for her. And these are scenarios where you don't require to put yourself at risk, but you stand in solidarity to mitigate risk for people you care about. You don't have to know all Black Americans. You don't have to know all dark-skinned Americans. What you have to know is that them existing within a protest is a green light for target practice.
So did y'all hear about April 5th? On April 5th, there's to be a national protest that's, led by a company, a progressive movement company by the name of Indivisible. And the protest is for Trump and Elon Musk. Black people, listen. That has nothing to do with us at all. If you get on Google and you Google Civil War in 2025, look at the data that all of these major companies have collected in regards of like talking to the people and saying, do you believe there'll be a civil war and what is the likelihood of you being involved? These people want to go to war with each other. That has nothing to do with us. Stay out the way. Do something that'll help you be more progressive in your community, that can make you more self-sufficient, that can have you in a better position if things in this country are to hit the fan, which they are, right?
Okay, my people, it's time to bring out information and bring awareness to y'all. Okay, April 5th. I know some of y'all heard about April 5th, some of y'all haven't. But what's supposed to be going on April 5th is supposed to be a boycott. At this point, they saying Trump and Elon Musk is doing whatever the fuck they want to do with democracy and whatever. It's like, it's time to take a stand for that shit. The shit ain't right. They not supposed to be able to do this shit. Boom, there it is. It's called Hands Off. On Saturday, April 5th, 2025, Third Act joins the Hands Off National Day of Action to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want. Trump and Elon Musk. Our democracy, our future, our rights. And like I stated before, they said Donald Trump and Elon Musk think they can do whatever the fuck they want. So it's time for us to take a stand. But it's a word out there. We, us people, should stay out of this right now because for one thing, every time black people get involved into something like this, it always end up with some type of force or some type of violence. Every time we get involved into some shit, it's always something. Police brutality, extra force, all that bullshit. Now the word for us right now is to stay out of this shit. Just stay out of this shit. Stay home. Don't go out. Don't protest. Don't do none of that shit. You know why? Because when we go out and make a stand for some shit, they make it about us. They think that we making this shit about us when it's really for the people, period. We don't need that this go around. Like real shit needs to get handled. If we sit this one out and other people are out there doing what the fuck they supposed to be doing, then maybe they might listen to their ass and don't think that it's just a black thing. It's just a black thing. No, it's the people thing. The people of the United States, we is fucking fed up with the bullshit that y'all got going on and what y'all trying to do. At least us that have sense, the ones that's unprivileged, because that's who is affecting the most. If you're black, stay your ass back. I don't want to hear no tragic stories about nothing about us. All I want to hear is that these motherfuckers are gave in. And that shit, I highly doubt, because these motherfuckers is hard-headed and they is privileged. They think that they can do whatever the fuck they want. They don't give a fuck what affects anybody. That's what this whole stand is for. I know you want to get out there and fight for that shit, but if we do it, it ain't going to get done right. They just going to see us as a group of black people, and they're going to try and shut that shit down. They ain't even going to try and listen to what the fuck we got to say. It's other people of other nationalities that believe the same shit that we do. Let them go out there and fight this shit. Let them fight for their rights, because they're our rights too. But if we fight for them, it's going to be repercussions already just because of who we are. Let them go ahead and do that shit, and let's see what the fuck happens.
I live right outside of Washington, D.C., and I ain't going to no march. You know we're not going. So for the 92%, what we going to do? I say we have a big-ass cookout. Let's have a big-ass barbecue. Why not? Right outside Washington, D.C. If I host a big-ass barbecue, vendors, the whole 9 yards, would you come? 92%. Would you come? Let me know in the comments. If I get enough responses, I'm doing it. I want to have a big ass barbecue. 92% cookout. Fuck it. We deserve it. Let me know in the comments. If I get enough comments, we gonna do it. That's it. 92% cookout on April 5th. Let's make it happen.
I already know who needs to hear this, and I'm hoping that you actually listen, because like my peoples, we already know what to do. And I'm hoping that other POCs hop on this as well, but do not go marching April 5th. Don't be outside in the street on April 5th. Like, listen to a good sis once, please. If you hear anything I ever say, don't go marching on April 5th. That is not our fight. That is not our protest. That is not where we need to be, because that is what they want. They want us to get outside in the streets and be angry. They want us to protest. They want us to riot. They want you outside so that they can enact martial law. I know y'all have been hearing about this on TikTok, because I have been hearing about it on TikTok, and I've been hearing about it on other social media platforms. Do not go outside. Stay your ass in the house. Actually, gather some friends, make a movie night out of it. I don't know, play some board games, drink some wine, stay with your animals, pick up a hobby. But don't go outside, because they want you to be outside so that they can enact martial law. This is not our fight to fight. We fought the good fight in November. We fought the good fight campaigning for 6 to 8 months. We did what the hell we needed to do. Do not go and try and be Captain Save-A-Ho for the fucking nation. And I know that people are going to be like, oh my God, why not? We all live here. Yes, we do. But we are all not going to experience the same shit about what happens when we go outside and we protest. So again, I say, stay your ass home. Do not go outside. If you are black, POC, a minority, an immigrant, let the white people fight this fight. I'm so serious. Let them have their Katniss Everdeen moment. Let them go outside and be a divergent. I need y'all to sit y'all asses down. Immediately. Stay your ass inside. Don't go outside April 5th and be a part of this People's March, because we the people fought for this already. Let them suffer the consequences, and then we can rebuild from there. Okay?
I heard that's going to be a big protest on April the 5th. Don't go down to that march. Stay home. Continue to protest like you've been doing with your dollars and your cents. Because if you go down there to that march, it's going to turn ugly on their part. It's called martial law. And I'll leave you with this.
1 million people are going to march in the United States on April 5th. 1 million people.
Sit your black ass down.
So I did research and looked more into April 5th, and I completely agree. Black people, sit your ass down. Like, usually I'm not a part of protests, but I do a lot of media and I document protests. So usually I'm out on my bike just documenting the whole thing. But in this case, I don't even want to get out and document it. Because let me just explain the whole logic behind this. For some reason, right, every time there is a protest that involves everybody but us as black people, it's okay. But every time, and historically, you can look this up, every time black people try to protest, for some reason, like, the police see it as a red level, red alert. You know, they see it as, okay, we need to use force. And literally, you can put two groups of people, black people, and whomever you want to choose, and let them protest the same way, and somehow the force will only be used against black people. And it makes perfect sense for black people to feel this way about this protest. Like, even though we all might be a little different as black people, we all on one page when it comes to peeping game. And we all see exactly what y'all trying to do. And this is something you have to understand too, right? So you have a large group of, you know, Trump supporters. So they automatically gonna feel that any protest against their president is unpatriotic or some sort of threat. And a lot of those Trump supporters are crazy. Like, they're gun-toting crazy supporters. So if you put them in a position where they see large groups of people protesting against him or whatever's going on in the world, they immediately take offense to it. But if you put them in a position where a large group of black people are partaking in that protest, they immediately see violence. And even if there isn't any sort of violence, they will incite violence. They will literally start the violence and somehow migrate to only wanting to act on black people. That's why a lot of black people are saying we sitting this one out. Because one thing that needs to be understood is we already had the Million Man March. If you're not familiar with the Million Man March is, look it up. We already had our grandfathers, great grandfathers, dads. They did that. And that was already millions and millions of black men. So we did that already. But in today's climate, with how crazy some of these people are, we're not doing that. Black people want to just be out the way and let everybody else do what you need to do. Because if anything pops off, let it pop off with those people. Don't let anything pop off and somehow we get pulled into it, but we suffer the most damage out of everybody. Because they'll do that. It's almost like they're waiting for that. You already got this weird segregation stuff that's going off. So it's like, why that before this? And I'm already hearing echoes over the internet out of all the days they plan on banning TikTok again on April 5th. Why? And when we already have kind of opened that rabbit hole of when they ban TikTok is because they want to suppress information. And out of all the days on April 5th, why would TikTok, the most universal connecting platform, social platform, why would it be shut off that day? Out of all the days? Because hypothetically, let's say TikTok was banned on April 5th and all these protests was popping off, you wouldn't really know what's going on. You couldn't be on the Midwest looking over to the east. You couldn't be to the west looking over to the east and seeing these crazy forms of whatever the protest has to offer. So just those two things alone is suspect. But overall, I completely understand why all black people are saying, hey, we not doing this shit. I agree. I don't want to be out in that. And like I said, I'm usually used to being out in protests and stuff like that, documenting, but not this one. Because what also needs to be understood is that there's people that they want to act upon their impulses, but they can't, because they still got a pinch of sense in there that tells them, hey, I can't just do this against a particular group of people because I know how it's going to look. I know that it's going to threaten my job, my career, my friendships, all of that. But if you give them a perfect scenario, they can act upon their impulses. And another thing is that if we as black people sit out this protest, they will make the protest what it's about, right? It will be what it's supposed to be about. But if we involve ourselves, they will take the universal reason for what the protest was about and they will make it about black people. They will do that. And we don't need that happening again, because this has happened once before. You remember back then when everybody was doing the Black Lives Matter protest, right? And those were solely protests for Black lives. It was so obvious, right? You know how much backlash that got because for some reason everybody wanted to make it a universal thing. It was a protest about black people, but everyone wanted to universally make it about everything. They wanted to make it about everybody. No, all lives matter. We get that, but this is a black people thing. Well, see, we learned from that, and we learned to not make things about ourselves around a lot of y'all. Because when we make stuff about us around y'all make it about everything else. So now it's the reverse Uno. Now we out of it. So y'all can't say they're making it about themselves. Nope, we're out of it now. Black people, we're out of it. So now everybody else that's involved in it, make it about what it's about, which is the corruption and Trump and all that. We actually doing y'all a favor. So if you're black, sit your ass down on April 5th. Don't go out. Don't do it. Nope. Let them do that. You stay at home. You find something to do. A good movie, some food, a video game, whatever. Take up a trade, a new book, whatever. You stay your ass home. Let them make this about what it's about. Don't let them tell us, oh, you're making it about yourself, because that's when the problems is going to start. No. Nope.
To all the black people on this app, and if you're not black, I guess you'll be out there in the streets by yourself. Black people, April 5th, there's supposed to be a whole thing about a protest, marching, whatever, in these streets. The only thing that I need you guys to do in these streets is to go to the grocery store, gas up your car, and then take your butts back home. We are not getting out here doing nothing else at all. We are resting for the next 4 years or less. And we're hoping for the less. Because, baby, we don't need him in that White House longer than he's already there. So, black people, April 5th, y'all stay home. Go get your groceries. Get your gas. Don't buy nothing else. Because we are not doing this. We are on rest. We are not protest. Because, y'all, you know, they want to martial law us so bad. And we are the wrong generation to do that too. We are the most serious, unserious generation there is. And this government don't know what they're doing. So with that being said, April 5th, let's just make sure that we are staying home and have a good time, catch up on our shows, and rest.
I'm on a mental health break. I don't know when I'm coming back. A bitch is tired. I'm black, I'm queer, I'm a woman, I've been crying all week, and I'm usually fucking tough as hell. I'm from New York, I'm living in Chicago, but this shit is working my fucking nerves. But I came back to say this. If I'm not back by April 5th, y'all better stay inside. Black folks do not go outside April 5th. This is not your fight. I heard it's a protest. It ain't for us. Let everybody else do it. It ain't for us. I don't even know what they protesting for. Don't go out there. I don't care what they do. Stay inside. I gave up alcohol. I haven't drank since March 1st. I don't even know why I did that. This is the hardest thing to do, to not be drinking and deal with this on a day-to-day basis. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to June.
So black people and people who care, do you know why we keep saying that we believe that Trump's goal is to enact martial law? Do you know what martial law is? No? All right, so stay tuned for this video, okay? So by definition, martial law is the temporary replacement of military authority for civilian government in case of an emergency, all right? Reading straight from the definition. It can be invoked during times of war, labor disputes, natural disasters, and civil unrest in the United States and in other regions. All of these executive orders that he's been doing, all of these policies that he's undoing, like DEI, or putting back into place, like segregation in the federal workplace, it's rage bait. It's rage bait. And while there are other groups that have been affected by what he's doing, the main group that he's trying to enrage is the group that looks like us. Okay? It is historically known that if you upset the African American community enough, the black community enough, you will hear their voice. You will hear their voices. Why? Because they will rally, they will protest, they will do whatever they can to fight for their rights, to fight for what they believe in. And that right there is what they want you to do. Why? Because that will then fall into civil unrest. One of the things that I just read in that description of what can solicit or enact martial law, civil unrest. Y'all remember how everything went down for them Black Lives Matter protests? Although it was peaceful, we were still being shot with rubber bullets and still being tear gassed, right? And they would have done more had we not been peaceful. But this time they don't give a damn about whether or not we're peaceful. Okay, they need us out there so that they can enact martial law. And I know that some people have been talking about in the community, oh, the reason why he's doing that is so that they could kill us off. And I do believe part of it is that. But I believe that really the big reason why they want to enact martial law is because when that happens, there'll be so much more chaos in the streets, right? That Trump and his people be able to get away with what they're trying to get away with in peace, okay? There's going to be less eyes on them. Right now, judges left and right is stopping them from doing anything that they want to do. And I saw another creator actually talked about a lot of the things that he's doing. He's moving like somebody who knows that they're not going to be around to deal with any of the consequences behind their actions. Kind of like how we were giving the advice to those who were to be deported: open up a whole bunch of credit cards, get a loan, do everything, cash out everything, because you won't be around to deal with the consequences. That's how Trump has been moving throughout this entire presidential run. He's doing things as if he's not going to be dealing with the consequences after. And that's because they all have a plan. They have a bigger plan in place, okay? And I believe the martial law is needed for chaos and confusion so that they could continue to do what they need to do without being detected. That's just my theory. But within the community, within the Black community, we have all come to the agreement, right? That all of what they're doing right now is to enrage us so that we would get fed up enough, so that we will gather up and rally, so that we will go outside, and so that they can pew, pew, pew us. And so now America's really effed up because the backbone of America is gone.
that's the reason why we keep saying that Donald Trump's goal is to enact martial law. That's the reason.
This is all I got from this video, and I am so proud of my people, how they have already made up their mind right from the beginning of before the regime, right? Because after the election, they actually came out and said, you see, from now on, just can us out, not until whenever. And we can always come out when we feel it is time for us to come back. And one thing about coming back is that you absolutely will feel the need to come back. So I am also trying to remind you all that you are seeing you will be home. Let me even check the day because I know it's April 5th. What day is that? I need to be sure so that let's know what's happening on the 5th is on a Saturday. It means probably some of you might not be working. And I think it's a very good time to barbecue. I mean, to have cook out with your family or if you have few friends that live around, if you have a very good neighbor, trust me, you can start planning it right now. Just get together, get that music buzzing. I mean, like, oh my, trust me, you are gonna like it. You are gonna like it. The kind of cookout that is running all over my brain right now. You will like it. Trust me. So try as much as you can to do. If you choose not to do barbecue, not to have some cook out, trust me. Get you that popcorn, get you that your favorite drink, and I'll watch that your favorite show on television, right? And then come back to the comment section and report because I know there will definitely be so much to report on, right? So please, my sweeties, I love you all so much, and I do not want to hear stories because you all already know how hard they've been working to get you all out there, and you all know what happens when people that look like me go out there. It doesn't turn out good. So I love the fact that everybody is actually on the same page, right? I do not want to hear any bad story. I do not want, like, I am tired of hearing some bad, I mean, like, it's been so many bad stories coming out all this period, and everyone is targeting people that look like me. So it is still resting period and vacation period. Do as much as do yourself well by continue to rest and continue to, like, enrich yourself and all those things that you said that you are going to plan 2025. I hope you have already started planning them because sometimes you need somebody to lift your spirit. You need somebody to ginger you up. You need somebody to, like, get your spirit like all very active. And this is me trying to let you know that it is time to get that. Get your pen, get your paper, get your tab, and all you need. Get back to work. Get back to work. It's time to get into it. Whatever that thing you've been planning, it's already 2025. I mean, we are going into April already, right? So it is only when it is bad that they come out to look for you. But this time around, you already know when you want to come out and when you do not want to come out. And at this point in time, my people do not want to come out. So continue to remain in that house. And do not forget to keep your dollar in your bag. They think they are smart. Now we are going to show them who the real smart people are. They thought Black people are crazy coming out to vote for everybody's interest. Now everybody's feeling the heat. Everybody's saying what they voted in for. Some are still very happy. Why? Because, I mean, they are happy because it is their own person. But that their own person is, like, showing them the real spice. Some can complain because if you complain, you are definitely on a long thing. But I love the fact that you all are still holding on because you all saw this from far and you knew it's not like something new, right? I know how hard already it is because absolutely it is very hard on you. It is telling, but you can do it. Let's continue to stay back home, not until the spirit calls and says it is time for Black people to do what they know how to. Not really what they, because no, I don't want it to be like Black people are the good and like best in this, because man, they do not need to even know this time around what Black people can do and what Black people cannot do. It's just going to be on code. So sit your butts at home. I love you all. Bye for now.